Hello everybody and welcome to another Master Duel video. In this one we're gonna take a look at Rikka plants. Rikka recently got new support added in the form of Rikka Princess and Rikka Concon, which are right here. Rikka Princess reads: during your main phase you can special summon this card from your hand, and then while it's out we can't special summon monsters except plant monsters. Then while in the graveyard or in the hand, when your opponent activates a monster effect and we control a Rikka monster, it can quick effect, shuffle itself away, tribute a plant monster and then negate that effect. So it's a hand trap negate or engrave negate with a quick effect, and it says tribute one plant monster. We'll get into that later, but it's a very good card. The other one that was added was Rikka Concon. If you control a Rikka monster, you can set one Rikka spell trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone. And also you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except plant monsters. You can only use this effect of Rikka Concon once per turn, then once per turn again. If you would tribute a plant monster you control to activate a Rikka card or effect, you can tribute any one face-up monster your opponent controls even though you do not control it. So, through Rikka Concon, we can Rikka Princess to negate our opponent's effects and tribute their monsters for the cost. And we can also do that by using Rikka Glamour, which is kind of like a small world for the deck, where you can tribute a plant monster, and that plant monster can be your opponent's monster. So just with that little interaction, that little loop, that's gonna bring us a lot of advantage. And then the rest of the deck just kind of builds around that. So we run Sunseed Genius Loci and its relevant extra deck monsters because it's a very powerful single card combo. If we can get this out on the field by using Unexpected Die for example, and then link it off into Sunavalon Dryas, we can get 4 link materials on the board very easily, and with that we can combo off. So that's basically the deck really. We run these guys, then we have Rikka Petal. Rikka Petal is very good. It allows us to rota for, it's like a Stratos basically, but it's not on summon, you have to activate it. And then during your opponent's end phase, it Treeborn frogs itself back to your side of the field, meaning that you always have it accessible when it's your time to play. Making it a very good card, gives a lot of advantage, keeps you searching for more Rikkas. Maxi, of course. Sunseed Twin, this is part of the Sunseed Genius Loci combo. We special summon it out during it, you'll see later. Lonefire Blossom, because it's a 1 card into Sunseed. Then we have this little guy, and this guy is disgusting. Cannot be special summoned. While another plant monster is on the field, neither player can special summon monsters. So this guy is a barrier statue with 1800 attack. And if we open with an Unexpected Die or a 1-for-1, we can go into this with our combo. So we can end on this plus a bunch of interruptions. Playing sort of like Floo, but we play a bit less on our opponent's turn. But still some, we have a lot of interaction in the deck. Then we have Primula, she special summons herself when a monster is tributed and can modulate levels. Rikka Princess, we went through that. Then we have Mudan, the Rikka Fairy. You can tribute summon 1 plant monster, special summon this card from your hand. Then if it is normal summoned or special summoned by the effect of a plant monster, counting itself, you can add 1 Rikka spell trap from the deck to your hand. Meaning we can search Glamour or we can search most likely Concon, because Concon in itself grabs us Rikka Glamour through its effect. And then we use Rikka Glamour to get Cactus Bouncer and Primula from our deck to our hand. Yep, then we have Snowdrop. Snowdrop can tribute summon 1 plant monster and then special summon itself and another plant from your hand, which is amazing. For the cost of 1 we get to go basically +1 in advantage like on the board. And then we can target a plant monster and then all plant monsters you control become that monster's level until the end of the turn. So we can very easily access Teardrop the Rikka Queen, which is a interaction. It's a quick effect tribute to your opponent monsters. We can make that reliably while also going into Bengal Answer and setting up a cactus bouncer on the board. Terraforming for our Concon, 1/1 for our Sunseed, same with Unexpected Die, Rikka Glamour. You can activate this card, you can also tribute one plant monster, so we can just activate it to add a Rikka monster. So if we tribute either our own or our opponent's monster when we activate the card, we can also add a plant monster with the same original level of the Rikka monster that we added. So if we add Primula, that's a level 4, meaning that we can add Cactus Bouncer for free. And then Primula gets itself out on the board, replacing the minion that we just tributed to get our Cactus Bouncer. It's excellent. Sunvine Sowing, that's part of the Loci combo, we'll see that later. It special summons. Called by the Grave and Crossout, of course. 3 imperms because we have the space, you can play a lot of different things. I actually ran my Royal Cyframe Lord Omega, which I got just randomly. So I ran some Gammas here instead with a driver. But you know, it's flex spots. Rikka Sheet, we can search this with Concon. It allows us to target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Then we can tribute the plant monster. With Concon that can be an opponent's monster too. Then players cannot activate that face-up monster's effect on the field for the rest of the turn. So by itself it's a semi-negate. They can, if it's still triggered, you can't chain it, but you can prevent an ability from being activated, so like a negate. Then if we tributed a monster to activate it, we can take control of the monster until the end phase and make it a plant monster. So what we can do is when our opponent goes 1-2, So when our opponent goes 1-2 to like link off or something, we can use Rikka Sheet, tribute one of his monsters and steal his other one, interrupting him very, very easily. And Rikka Sheet is again searchable off Concon. Then I run a Sunavalon Bloom. You don't have to run this, again it's kind of a flex spot. It's a semi Dark Ruler no more, and because of that I just kind of like it, why not? And with that, that's the main deck done. We're gonna jump into the extra deck now, starting with Rikka Queen Strenna. Strenna can detach a material from the card, then target a plant monster or Rikka card in your graveyard and then add it to our hand. So it's a searcher. Recycles our stuff. We can grab something up that was destroyed. For example, we can actually grab up Cactus Bouncer should it get destroyed on our opponent's turn. Then, if this card is tributed while it has material, we can special summon one rank 5 or higher plant XYZ monster from our extra deck or graveyard and then attach the card to it as material. Meaning we have free access to all plant XYZs rank 5s or higher. Now there aren't very many, so we play the best ones. Sacred Tree Beast is probably the strongest one. Kinda works like a Time Thief Redoer, where it attaches cards from the graveyard when you activate a card. So if we have it on the field and we activate a monster card, it can take a monster card from our graveyard and attach it as material. Then, during our opponent's turn, we can detach a material of the same type from the card, and if we do, negate the card our opponent played. So if our opponent plays a monster, we can use it, attach a monster, and then negate the monster and destroy it. So it's kind of like an Omni. It's not as good as an Omni, but it's pretty solid, and we can get this out semi-reliably. We have Rikka Queen, which we both can make off Snowdrop and summon with the Queen. It again can detach a material from the card, then target one monster on the field and tribute it. And that's a quick effect if we have plant materials, which we basically always do. And it has a minor attack modulation effect, which doesn't really matter. Then we have Alcei, which honestly, I'm only playing this to have another target. I could consider running another teardrop, honestly. It's just if we get enough materials to go into 2 8s, I want this to be a target, because we are often plant locked, so we're very limited in what we can go into. And this guy, we can declare a card name, excavate the top card of our deck, and if it's the declared card, we can add it to the hand. And we don't have many bounce abilities. We do have some with this, but that's on our opponent's effect monster, so that doesn't really work. Then it sends it to the graveyard if it's not the same card. Then, if a card is sent from your deck to the graveyard by a card effect except during this damage step, You can detach one material from the card and target one card on the field, place that target on either the top or bottom of the deck. So it's removal, which is okay, but it's again not very good. Dryas in the combo, same with Sunvine, Thrasher, Jasmine, Melias, and the Bengal Lancer. I'll go through those when we do the combos, which we're gonna do right now. Alright everyone, just a little editor's note here. I was playing around with the deck last night and I added the Sunavalon Bloom, but I took out Jasmine. Now Jasmine is actually quite important in our combo sometimes. I just wanted to let you guys know. And it allows us, while our life points are higher than our opponents, to normal summon a plant monster in addition to our normal summon and set. That comes up with Cactus Bouncer if we have to use our normal summon to go into Sunset Loki. But yeah, let's get into the combos. It's gonna be the combo guide for Rikka plants. Now this line that I'm gonna show you has a little bit of a requirement. It's to get out the Cactus Bouncer. We still end on basically the same board if we don't open one of these things, but we can't get out the Cactus Bouncer. That's basically the only difference. And that is having either 1/1 in our opening hand or unexpected die. We're gonna start off with 1/1. We're gonna throw this Rikka Princess to the graveyard to grab a Loci. This is to save our normal summon for the Cactus Bouncer. Link off the Loci for a Sunavalon Dryas. Dryas is gonna add the Sunvine Sowing. We happened to open it, so that's fine. We're then going to summon a Sunseed Twin here, which is going to activate. And then grab the Loci back, and Dryas can activate because we took damage and allow us to special summon out a Link 1 from our deck. And we're gonna grab the Sunvine Healer. Sunvine Healer is going to trigger, and then we can link off into Jasmine. Now Jasmine's job here is to grab us Glamour. We already have it, but just for the sake of the video, we tribute. Doesn't really matter which one we tribute, but we go for Petal. Petal is going to grab us Mudan. And Mudan is going to tribute. Again, doesn't really matter. We can do the Loci. It's fine. Mudan is going then to add Konkon. We slap down Konkon and then activate Konkon for a Glamour. Because we already have it, I'm gonna grab the sheet here, but pretend that we searched it. Then use Glamour, tribute a Rikka Petal to grab a Primula from deck to hand, and then Cactus Bouncer. It works like a Small World, but only on levels, so if we grab a level 4, we grab another level 4 if we tribute the monster. This then goes down for free, and we can go into the Melios. Smell you later. He will activate, grab the seed back, and then go into Bengal Lancer. Then finally we can normal summon our Cactus Bouncer. I can set this imperm. And this is a general end board for the deck. So what does it do? Konkon allows us to tribute our opponent's monsters with our stuff. Now we happen to already have Glamour, so we can use Sheet to tribute their monsters and then take control of one of their other monsters. If they commit to the board, we can control very well. Bengal Lancer can quick effect at target one effect monster your opponent controls, take damage equal to its attack, and if you did take damage, return that monster to the hand, so it's a bounce. And then it's also a floater, and then finally, because we started off with Rikka Princess here, we also have a monster negate in that. So we can shuffle away our princess, tribute our Mudan, and negate a monster effect, which is pretty good. So, final thoughts on Rikka plants, and I have to say, this is a very competent deck. The deck list is very tight, it has very good cards, its combos are consistent, they're powerful. We can end on destruction negates, bounces, tributes, more bounces, negates from grave, There's a lot of stuff going on here, and I really enjoyed the deck. It's a lot of fun. I did like 17 consecutive wins going up to gold. So I highly recommend you guys try this one out. It's very unique, and I haven't really seen a lot of people play it, and I don't think a lot of people know how it works, so it's kind of rogue in that aspect. And that is always a bonus, that people don't know your choke points very well. So thank you guys as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it helpful. Leave a comment if there's anything I missed, any tech cards that you like to throw in here. I know there's a lot of different ways you can build this thing, like a ton of different ways. Some people play Spore to go into synchros. Let me know what you guys usually put in your Rikka plant lists. And then finally, of course, subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.